Hey Team Pilates, I hope you are doing well as always. I've got a really lovely session for you to kick off our month this month. So last week we did a really lovely stretch and kind of relaxation to end off January. We're going to kickstart February with some mobilisations. It's going to be really predominantly focused in on the spine and the shoulders today. So by the end, we're going to be working on kind of increasing our range of movement, our range of motion, and really just getting some articulation and some good movement into our spine. It's a very focused session. You're going to feel it, and hopefully in a nice way. Let's start off though by just setting up. So we haven't come into our setup for a little while. Let's bring our feet together, heels together, stand up nice and tall, nice and long, lengthen up through the spine, keeping your heels pinned together. I just want you to turn your toes out to the corners of your mat. Again, keeping that squeeze, just gentle squeeze in between your thighs. Let's roll the shoulders up and just draw them all the way down our back, gently pressing our shoulders down towards the floor. We're going to rock up onto our toes and just gently lower our heels back down behind. Let's give a little wriggle out through the legs and through the knees, just so that we're not gripping on to our mat. Okay, good stuff. And you can take a quick look down to your feet here, just checking that everything's in line and pointing forward, and that we're not knocking the knees in. Don't turn the knees in, so everything is pushed out and in line. Let's start at the toes. So lift your toes up off your mat, spread them around, give them a little wriggle, and then lay them back down. Same on the other side. Lift, a little spread, a little wriggle. We're going to rock up just onto our toes, so lifting the heels, staying nice and tall, a little test of balance, and then lowering back down again. Good. So moving up through the legs. Let's just lift those kneecaps up slightly, come up all the way into this pelvis area. You can bring your hands onto your hips here, and we're just going to rock side to side. So letting one knee collapse down. As we do so, we're pushing the hip out slightly, and then same on the other side. So just a gentle little shift of balance, like we're pedaling through. Hip comes up, knee goes down. Hip comes up on this side, knee goes down on the opposite side. So again, just at your own pace, pedal through. You might get a few little clicks, just like I did. And then come back to centre, lift those kneecaps up again. We're going to come into those full little circles. So I say full circles, small circles again. I want you imagining that from the rib cage up, we're not moving. So all the movement is coming down from the hips. So a little hula hooping action. Good, just gently around in one direction, shoulders stay drawn down, and then come around in the opposite direction. So you're bending your knees a little bit here, but trying to get that mobility coming from your pelvis. Good. And then back to centre. Let's bring your hand onto the front of your tummy and the small of our back as we come into those pelvic tilts. So dipping, you can dip your knees a little bit here, pushing back and then tucking under. Pushing back and tucking under. Good. So I talked about us going through the different kind of ranges of motion. It's exactly what we're doing with our pelvis here. So we're coming back as far as we can and then tucking under as far as we can. And then you're just going to gradually stop somewhere in the middle. Good stuff. Perfect. Okay, bring your hands up onto your rib cage. You can close your eyes here if you want to. We're going to take a nice deep breath. Feel those rib cages expand, expand, expand. That's why it's nice to bring the hands up there. Good, and then as you exhale, blowing all that air out of your lungs, imagine that your fingertips are trying to come together as you really squeeze the last of the air out. Good. Again, let's inhale and expand. Really fill those lungs up. Good, and then exhale. Push everything out as you do so, closing that gap, contracting everything in, pushing right down into the kind of pit of your belly. Good, once more, inhale. Lovely stuff. And exhale. All the way out. Good, just 3 short concentrated breaths there really does help us to just sink into the moment a little bit. Okay, let's drop our chin to the chest, lengthen out through the back of your neck. Just standing nice and tall, imagining that corset wrapping around your waist. Good. On your next exhale, let's take the chin up to the ceiling. Shoulders gently pressing down. Good. Back through center. Exhale, you can turn off to the right. Good. Hips stay facing forward, so it's just the movement coming from the neck. We're back in, and then we're exhaling off to the left. Just noticing if one direction feels slightly easier than the other. Good, coming back in, we're going to go into a little half roll down, so let's roll those shoulders up towards the ears now. Pull that belly button back, raise your hands down your thighs. Just gently, gently, gently allowing those arms to go heavy. And just flop here. Keep the legs straight so the kneecaps are lifted. Just let those arms sway back and forth or side to side, whatever they want to do. Good, and then when you're ready, squeeze that belly button in to lift you back up. Good. All the way to the top, little shoulder roll here. So we're going to start with some really nice standing spinal mobility moves, okay? So I want to start in bringing your arms out wide. Again, try not to lift your shoulders as you do so. Arms out wide, chest is open. We're going to tuck the chin to the chest and open up. So we're working through the backs of our shoulder blades here, the back of our scapula. And you get quite warm with this one quite quickly. Good. So some of these are going to be kind of fairly quick paced movements with mobility. We're just trying to get all the different movements in rather than holding any one position for any length of time. This isn't a strength based set. Good. So you'll warm up quickly. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the arms out wide. We're going to bring the right arm up and over, and we're going to bring the left arm up and over. So don't worry if you can't touch your opposite arm, just bring it as far as you can. Remember, it's all about gradually, by the end of our session today, hopefully you'll be able to move that a little bit more. So if you can't do this straight away, hopefully by the end you can. Good. 3, good. 2, and 1. Keep the arms out wide, palms facing up, spread your fingertips. We're going to come into a little rotation. So can you feel that warmth coming into your shoulders now, just from keeping these arms extended? And I'm going to let you move your hips around with this one, guys, okay? Whatever you need to do, just once around in each direction. I want you to relax the arms and just roll and reset. Good. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, squeeze together. We're going to come into that twist again. I want you to see if you can go a little further around this time. So just take your gaze back in the direction of that furthest arm. Come back to centre. Good. And all the way around. Lovely stuff. Good. Come back into centre. Roll and reset. Drop your chin to your chest. Just come into a little half roll down. Again, just let those shoulder blades kind of fall apart here. Let the heaviness of your arms just unfold those shoulder blades. And then using your tummy button to draw you back in. Good, all the way up. Shoulder roll at the top. Inhale to lift the arms to chest. Exhale to squeeze together. We're coming back into those up and overs. Good. Perfect. Again, just seeing if you can get a little bit more range in this time. So reaching across. For this one, your hips stay facing forward, so okay? Good. Staying nice and tall through the spine. 2, and 1. Keep your arms outstretched. Turn the palms up to face the ceiling and come into your little spinal twists. Hips coming around with you. Lovely. I'm definitely getting further around on this set now. I don't know if you're feeling the same. Good. Back through centre. Relax the arms. Roll the shoulders. Inhale to lift. Exhale to squeeze together. Once more of these. Good. Coming all the way around. My poor plant that I'm bashing into each time. Sorry, plant. Good. Coming all the way back in. And across. Oh, can you feel that as you reach across? coming into the back, across the back of your rib cage. Let's roll and reset here. I want you to take your feet a little bit wider apart now. We're going to go soft into the knees. In fact, let me turn this way around. I'm going to go soft into the knees, almost into a squat. We're going to roll down, rolling the shoulders, pushing the bottom out and holding onto our thighs here. We're going to tuck the pelvis under and then we're going to push away. So this is like what you would do with your cat-cows. The same motion as we come into our extension and our flexion, but we're doing it from this standing position. Good, and again, just go with what feels nice for you here. 4, 3, good, open up that chest, tuck under. 2, good. And 1, I want you to hold it here so your bottom is really pushed back, a little curve in the base of your spine. Holding, holding, holding. 2, and 1, tuck in, relax the arms, straighten up the legs. See if you can reach down as far as you can with straight legs. So that might be to your shins, it might be to the tops of your feet, you might be able to get fingertips to the floor. But keep the legs straight. Good, and then bending through the knees, coming into a little standing roll back up. Good, shoulder roll at the top, always reset with a shoulder roll. We're going to take it into some lunges now, but we're going to add in some spinal twists. So why don't you step forward? So I want you to bring your feet back underneath your hip bones. Step forwards. The knee that's sinking down is coming directly down. So it's not a big forward step, okay? It's a sinking down motion. So you're going to step into your lunge. I'm going to add in a little twist. Back through centre and up. Let's switch sides. So sink down. This knee is directly underneath this hip. We twist across, back to centre and up. Good. So just keep alternating through your 2. Again, just twisting around as far as you're comfortable with. But each time seeing if you can just go that little bit further. It's a bit of a balance test because we're losing the stability from coming up onto just one foot here. Good. Stay nice and tall through the spine. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Good. One more on this side. Twist. Back in. Good. To centre. Coming in to that little round down. Pressing into your knees. Round through the shoulders. Stretch out through the back. Good. Round through the shoulders. Stretching out through the back. Good. You tuck. As you tuck in, you squeeze your belly button back. As you extend, you lift your chest. 2 more of these. 1. Good. And 2. Hold in this extension. So you get a nice little burn coming into your butt and into your thighs here from that squat hold. Stretch through the back. Good. 2 and 1. Tuck the chin to the chest. Straighten out the legs. As you let those fingers come down as far as you can to the floor. Just hold here for a moment. Good. 2 and 1. Bending through the knees, slowly rolling back up. Keep that crown of the head facing down. All the way back up to standing. Roll and reset those shoulders. Bring the elbows out wide. We're coming into our lunge and twist. Back through centre. Good. Lunge and twist. Lovely stuff. Breathe it through, okay? So, as I said, some of these moves are quite quick paced. We're going from one to the other. So just always come back to your breathing. Good. 1 more each side. Down, twist, and in. Last one. We're going down, twist, and in. Back up. Just a half roll down here, guys. Good. Let everything go nice and floppy. How are you feeling? Hopefully nicely warm. Good. 2 and 1. Let's roll it back up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Again, trying to get that articulation through the spine so we're not coming up in one solid movement. We're going to take the legs further apart now. I'm going to turn the toes out to the corners of your mat. So your feet need to be at least shoulder width apart. Wider if you want to, whatever feels comfortable for you, okay? Just make sure you've tucked that pelvis in slightly so that you're not pushing your bottom back. So come into your nice neutral spine. We're going to sink down into a little slow controlled squat. And then at some point I want you hinging forwards and bringing your hands to the floor. So you're coming into this really low, like toddlers do, really low squat down. So I've got my fingertips on the floor. I'm just going to gently rock side to side. So you're going to feel this in your inner thighs. I'm using my elbows to kind of just drive my knees apart slightly here. Rocking down, good. 2 and 1. I'm going to take it all the way across on one side. So I'm bringing all my hands all the way across. I'm going to slide this leg out. Good. So one leg's extended out. The other hand's both coming down. See if you can get your palms flat to the floor here. Hold a nice stretch through your inner thigh. Good. 2 and 1. Let's walk across and walk your hands across as you shift your body weight. And again, bring them so that you can get your hands flat on the floor is ideal. Feel that stretch through your inner thigh. Good stuff. 2 and 1. Let's walk those hands back to centre. Bring the legs out wide. Sink that bottom down. You might need to shift your feet around a little bit here. Come back into that little rock through. Good. 2 and 1. Keep your fingertips on the floor, but bring them to the centre. I want you straightening out those legs as much as you can whilst keeping contact with the floor. So if you need to have a little bend in your knees, that's fine. Otherwise, straighten out. Good. Let the head and the neck relax down. Good. Slowly, slowly, slowly lift those fingertips away from the floor. Draw that core in. Belly button to spine. Imagine I'm stood behind you with a bit of string attached to your belly button. I'm just gently pulling it like a puppet to come back up to standing. Good. Shoulder roll at the top here. Let's walk those feet back in, toes pointing forwards underneath your knees. Arms out wide. So we're going to inhale. We're going to exhale. We're going to come up and over. Good. Good. Exhale. Inhale. Perfect stuff. Feeling warm? Feeling like we're definitely working through the back and into the legs, right? 2. Good. And 1. Release those arms. Bend through the knees. Push your bottom back. Hold on to your knees as you come into your squatted cat-cows. Good stuff. Again, just seeing this time as you come out into cow, can you push a little bit further as you tuck up and roll through into your cat. Roll those shoulders up. Good. 2 and 1. Come back into your squatted cow. It's a weird expression. Hold it here. 2 and 1. Straighten up the legs. Send the fingertips down to the floor. Hold it here. Good. And then slowly, slowly, slowly rolling back up. You know the cues here. Good. Coming all the way back up to the top. Roll those shoulders through. We're going to come down onto our mats now, onto our backs, guys. Okay, I'm just going to turn my phone onto silent because it's beeping away at me there. So come on down onto your mats and onto your back. So I want you to take a little moment. I'm just going to twist my camera in back. A little moment to get comfortable here, guys. So just bend the knees. Come into a couple of little pelvic tilts. Just find your nice neutral positioning on your mat. Good. Try and open up your chest. Let your shoulders just fall back into your mat and then relax your arms down by your side. So I want you to bring one of your knees up and across. So your ankle is just hooking over the bent knee that's on the floor. So you can take a second to have a look at what I'm doing. You're basically forming a figure of 4, or kind of a figure of 4 with your legs here. Good. And then we're going to come into some roll down side to side. So I want you to just start dropping your knee, the bent knee, down towards the floor. Now you might not come all the way down to the floor, that might be quite a big ask, but you might come a third of the way or half the way, as much as you can. Keep your chest facing up to the ceiling though. Good, you're going to come in back through centre. Good, and then we're going to go around in the other way, so you're going to be dropping your toes down towards the floor, and you might feel it slightly easier coming in this direction to come down a little further, getting your toes to the floor. Good, let's come back through centre. Let's bring our breath into this. So exhale, drop your knee down towards the floor. Rib cage facing up the whole time. Good. Inhale, come back up through centre. Let's exhale, come down on the opposite side, so toe down towards the floor. Good. Inhale, come back up through centre. Guys, the foot that's on the floor, if you come up onto a tiptoe with that position now, so you're bringing your feet and your knees a little closer in towards your body. Let's do the same as we exhale and tip down. See if that helps just by shifting the foot. Good, positioning, coming back through centre. Good, let's exhale, dip down, toe to floor on the other side. Really nice deep glute stretch through here as well. And then back in through centre. Good, unhook that knee, bring both knees into the chest. Have a little circle around here. And again, just pay attention to your movements here, guys. Do you find that the first move might feel a little bit tricky, but as we start to get acclimatised to the move, you might be increasing your range with each set. Okay, let's float the opposite foot down to the floor, cross the other leg over, so again into that figure of four. It's the knee side that comes down first. So keep that rib cage pointing up. We're working through the real lower part of our spine here, guys, the lumbar spine. Good, coming in through centre. Good, exhale, dip down on the other side. As if you're trying to get your toes to the floor, you might be able to. Good, inhale back through centre. One more like this. If you want to spread your arms a little wider here, then of course you can. And get that nice chest stretch in as well. Good, back through centre. Once more like this, toes down on the opposite side. Lovely. Back through centre. Once you're into centre, shimmy that floor foot in a little bit closer, come up onto your tiptoes. We'll just do one set like this. Knee down towards the floor. Good, coming back in. And then toes down towards the floor. Really lovely, like almost massaging the lower part of your back here. Back in. Good. Unhook those toes, those ankles. Bring your knees into the chest. And again, you can rock side to side or come into little circles here. Just ease off that lower back. Good work, guys. Float both feet back down to the floor. I want you to lengthen out your legs now. So lengthen out your legs all the way down the mat. Toes are pointed. So you can shift your body weight around a little bit here if you need to. And then I want your arms just down by your side for now. Point your toes, flex your feet, and then point your toes again. So your legs are as long as they can possibly be. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up to chest height. Exhale, bring them all the way up, overhead. So they're lying down on the floor behind us now. We're in a really long full body stretch. Our open palms are facing up to the ceiling. Good, just hold it here for a moment. Try and relax the arms, so relax the shoulders. Good. And then I want you to imagine that you're pulling yourself up a rope. So one hand, then the other hand, one hand, then the other hand. So as you're pulling yourself up the rope, arms are still in contact, or backs of your hands are still in contact with the floor, but your rib cage is moving one side and another side, one side and another side, creating a little bit of space. Keep those toes pointed. Good. For 2 and 1, come back into your full body stretch. How tall can you grow down on the floor here? Hold it, hold it, hold it. Good. And then with your next exhale, swoop your arms back up overhead and then all the way down to your sides. Perfect. Scoot your feet along the floor. Woo, bring your knees back in towards your chest. If you want to ball yourself up here, you can, or you can stay with your shoulders down to the floor. Hold it through here. Good. 2 and 1. You're going to roll over onto your side now, guys. So we're going to come into our side lying position. Bringing my mat with me. So prop yourself up onto your elbow. Okay, knees are bent, hips are stacked, and your waist is lifted away. I know that you know this. We're going to come up into a side plank, but we're going to add in our threading of the needle. As I said, I'm not really trying to go for a huge amount of strength moves with this workout, but we're getting that lovely rotational mobility through the spine. Good. So loop your arm underneath. Good. Extend up, turn your neck in the direction. Lovely. One more like this. And release. Let's roll across and do the same on the opposite side. I'm just going to spin around. So again, just get your positioning right first. Lift those hips. Extend that arm. And then let's scoop. And open. Lovely. We're going to scoop and open. Perfect. For 4 and 3 for 2 and 1. Lovely stuff. Bring this hand back down as we twist over into our 4-point kneeling position. So just a nice little transition from our back onto our side and over onto all fours. Bring those wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. As always, just recheck in with what your core is doing. So make sure that you're maintaining that tension and still breathing properly, remember. Good. From here, we're just going to send our body weight forwards over our wrists and back towards our heels. We're coming over our wrists and then back as if we're sitting into a child's pose, but not quite lowering down. Good. 2. Perfect. And 1. Come back to all fours. Come into your cat-cows. Inhale. Roll up into cat. Exhale. Push away into your cow. Lovely stuff. So inhaling into the extension. Good. Exhaling through your flexion. Lovely stuff. Keep going here. Good. Once more. Perfect. Coming back to your 4-point kneeling position. Make sure that your weight is evenly distributed. I want you to walk your hands forwards a little bit more. Sink your hips down as if you're coming into a 3/4 plank position. We're just going to hold here. Draw your core in. Good. 2 and 1. Gently lowering those hips down, but keeping those arms straight. If it doesn't feel nice with your arms straight, then by all means you can lower down a little bit here. So you'll feel this as a stretch down through the front of your stomach, through your abdominals, stretching into the lower back here. Good. 2 and 1. Lift those hips, push back, come all the way down into child's pose. Good work, guys. Just stretch it out here. 2 and 1. Pushing back up onto all fours, walking the hands forwards, dropping into 3/4 plank. So hips and shoulders are in line. Hold it here for a moment. 2 and 1. Then lower your hips, bending your elbows if you need to, okay, whatever feels nice. Coming into your upwards cobra. Lovely stretch, this one. 2 and 1. Pushing back up into 3/4 plank, then sending your bottom back to your heels. Coming into child's pose, forehead all the way down to the mat. Good, take a breath here. and then pushing back up. You know what to do. Come into your 3/4 plank and hold. Pull that core in ever so gently, and then lower the hips, stretch out that spine. As I said, if you prefer to come down onto your forearms here, then of course you can, guys. It's meant to feel nice, okay? Good, breathe it, 3, 2, and 1. Push back up and into child's pose. Good, hold it here. 2, and 1. We're going to do that one more time. So send your hips forwards into 3/4 plank. Little squeeze through the glutes here. Keep you supported. Good, we'll hold this one a little longer. And then we lower down. Wonderful. Holding this one a little longer. 2, and 1. Send your bottom back. Bring your knees in nice and close as you come into child's pose now. Forehead all the way down to the floor, and then relax your forearms onto the floor as well, okay? Again, just allowing those shoulders to pull apart. Good, lift the forearms, walk the fingertips as far forwards as they can. And then keeping your forehead down to the floor, keeping your bottom sunk down towards your heels, I want you to bring your right hand across to the corner of your mat, so on the diagonal. And then bring your left hand over just on top of it, so you'll move your head as well. So you're in child's pose but off on a diagonal. Feel that stretch. Again, slightly shifting positions through your shoulders, kind of coming under your armpits, through your lats, lovely. Good, walk those hands back through centre. Hold it here. Let's take the left arm out on the diagonal and bring the right arm over to rest on top. Hold it here. Good, 2, and 1. Come back through centre, and then relax your forearms down to the floor, shoulder blades just gently fall apart. 2, and 1. Pushing up on your next breath into your all 4 position. Bring your knees a little wider, come back into your cat-cows. Use the opportunity to just come back to your breath. Good, inhale as you tuck under and round off those shoulders. Exhale as you push away. Good, once more, inhale, round through. And exhale, push away. Good stuff, come back into your 4-point kneel. And then just push yourself up into a high kneeling position here, guys, okay? So give your wrists a little roll off. Give your shoulders a little round through as well. Good. And then just make sure that when you're high kneeling, your bottom is lifted all the way up and that your knees are underneath your hips. Good. Okay. So remember at the start, when we were standing, we relaxed our arms down to the side. We did a nice deep inhale, lifted to chest height. We exhaled and squeezed our shoulder blades together. And then we came into our little twist. You can do the same from kneeling. Reaching around as far as you can. Good, turning in the direction of that outstretched arm. Good, can you get a little bit more range in with this? One side I can go pretty decently around, the other side is a little bit stiffer still. Good. Come back in through centre. Relax the arms down, roll your chin. Raise your hands down towards your knees. Let your knuckles just touch the floor here. So you're in this kind of gorilla-like position. Good, hold it here. Push back onto your heels, bring the palms of your hands back onto the floor. We're going to step out into that really low, deep squat, okay? So we're going to take one step out on one side and another step out on the other side. Shift your feet around so that you get as comfortable as you can be with this position. And we're going to come back into our little rock through, side to side. You don't have to have your hands completely flat to the floor. You can just have fingertips if that's easier, or just the length of your fingers but not the palms. Rocking through, side to side. Good. 2 and 1. Come back to centre. Bring your hands just a little bit further out in front and then push up. Again, keep your hands in contact with the floor here. See how far you can get up without removing your hands from the floor, so you can keep a bend in the knees. Good. Come up onto fingertips. See if you can straighten out those legs now. Good. Push those hands back into the floor, bend through the knees as you sink back down into that nice deep squat. Scoot your hands back in and come into your little rock through, side to side. Good. 2 and 1 with the hands forwards, fingertips to the floor, push up. Straighten out those legs now. You're looking directly in between your legs, your neck is dangling down. And then lift your fingertips away from the floor as you slowly, slowly, slowly roll back up. Good. All the way back up to standing. Walk your feet back in. Roll your shoulders through. We're going to roll it back down. We're going to walk it out. So no rush here, guys, at your own time. Roll it down. Fingertips to your mat. Walk it out into your plank or onto your knees. Hold for 2 and 1. Sink to your knees. Come back into child's pose. Hold it here. Good. 2 and 1. Push back up. Flex the toes. Push up into down dog. Bring your ears in line with your arms. Hold it here. Good. When you're ready, walk your fingertips back in towards your toes, sinking to your heels as soon as you can, bending through the knees. Slowly rolling back up. Remember, it's all about the articulation here. So vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, tucked into your chest. Roll the shoulders through at the top one more time as we roll down. Good. Raise those hands down your legs. Bend your knees when you need to. Walk your fingertips forwards. You're going to come into your plank or your 3/4 plank. Good. 2 and 1. Everybody into 3/4 plank now. Unhook your feet and come into your cobra. Either staying high or coming into your forearms. Good. 2 and 1. Push back up. Come into a 4-point kneel. And I want you to take your left hand, scoop it through, underneath your body, drop your shoulder all the way down to the floor. Good, hold it here. Bottom stays high. Lovely. On your next breath, push back up onto all fours and bring this arm all the way up and around. Good, hold it here, opening through the chest. And release. Bring this hand back down. Now your right hand scoops underneath. Elbow and shoulder in contact with your mat. Feel that lovely, lovely stretch. As you hold. 2 and 1. Push back up. Turn and open. Good. 2 and 1. Return your hands down so that you're in your 4-point kneel. Flex your feet, push up into down dog. Good, hold it here. 2 and 1. Walk your fingertips back in towards your toes. We're coming into just a half roll up now, guys, so keep your knees bent. Roll halfway up until your hands are on your knees and you find yourself back in that kneeling cat-cow position. And then from here, Come into your stretches. How's your back feeling? Come around, open and curve one more time. Push open and curve through, straighten out the legs, keeping your hands on your thighs, and then flatten out your spine. So now your legs are straight and your back is straight. So we're not curling over and letting our arms dangle down. Our hands are on our knees, pushing that back so that we're flat. Hold it here. Good. Try not to look down, so keep your neck in line. 2 and 1, and now I want you hinging up, so coming up in one full movement, tucking your pelvis under slightly. So we're back all the way up to standing, just where we started. Make sure that those feet are facing forwards and not turning slightly out to the side. Good. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, squeeze. We're coming into our float. Good. And if you couldn't get your tips across to your arm during our warm-up, do you feel like you can now? Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more mobile, a little bit warmer. Good. 2 and 1. Keep your arms out wide, turn your palms up to face the ceiling. Final set of spinal twists. Let's come around. Oh, how far back can you reach? All the way around. Good, opposite direction. All the way around, lovely stuff. Come back again. Once more on each side, sorry plant. Wonderful. And once more around. All the way here. Good stuff. Back to center, roll and reset those shoulders. Guys, how are you feeling? I want us to stay standing. Drop the chin to the chest. Relax those shoulders down. Close your eyes, take a nice deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, start rolling that neck all the way around towards your right ear. Bring it back. Rolling it around towards your left ear, keeping those shoulders down. All the way back so your chin is tucked to your chest. And then let's do the same in the opposite direction. Standing up nice and tall. Good, all the way around. And back so that your gaze is facing down, or your eyes closed and facing down. Couple of deep breaths here. Good, and then when you're ready, you can just blink your eyes open as you come back up to standing. Give everything a little check, make sure everything is where it should be, and have a lovely little round off through the shoulders. Guys, I would really love to know how you feel after that one. I feel quite nice and loose and light. We spend so much time, especially as mums, in this position, right? Hunched over, feeding, carrying, scooping, car seats, cots, whatever it is. To be able to really open up and spend some time on our backs is super important, but obviously I hope it has left you feeling really good as well. So thank you for joining me as always, and I will see you next week for another session of Fitness Pilates. Take care, guys.